Hey everybody, Dallas again with Chaos Fragrances. Today we're back with another video. This time we're going to be checking out my top 10 favorite fragrance pickups for this summer. So we're going to go and start out at number 10. We have Dior Aqua Fahrenheit. So out of all of the fragrances on this list, this one is probably the most unique. And that's a lot of the reason why it made it in this list. You know, a lot of summer fragrances generally are going to be pretty similar to each other, especially when it comes to citrus-based fragrances. Not necessarily that they smell exactly the same, but they are just kind of all fitting into the same genre. And, you know, oftentimes it's hard to find a summer citrus fragrance or just a summer fragrance in general that is unique and that is set apart from a lot of the other ones. But this one here does that perfectly. What I get from this fragrance is kind of like this cucumber note or cucumber accord, which is odd because there is no actual cucumber listed in this fragrance, but I do pick up on that. So this one has a very nice violet note with some grapefruit and other citrus in here. It is very unique, and it's one that is a really nice, more wearable version of the original Dior Fahrenheit. So this one is called Aqua, but I don't personally get any sort of aquatic or marine note in this one. This one is really just, to me, a lighter, fresher, citrusy take on the original Fahrenheit. But again, out of all the ones in this list, it is the most unique and the most daring. So if you're out there looking for something that's different to wear this summer, check this one out, Dior Aqua Fahrenheit. Ever since Bradley at Triple Ink, shout out to you, man, put me onto this scent and started talking about it, this is one that I've been wanting to try for quite a while. And I'm really glad that I was able to pick up a bottle of this. This is a very different marine type of scent. This one goes in a little bit more of a warm and sweet direction, not necessarily like fresh, citrusy, and salty like a lot of the marine fragrances out there. So in that regard, this one is quite a bit different. And honestly, this one is kind of similar to the one we just mentioned before, Aqua Fahrenheit, in the fact that this is something a little bit different here. Not a lot of fragrances smell like this one, and that's another good thing. The only one with this one is it is going to be a little bit more expensive, coming in at a niche price because it is a niche fragrance, a Xerjoff, and you're also getting a 50 ml bottle here for this one. But they actually did just recently come out with a 100 ml in the newer bottle style. This is the older bottle style version here. I'm not sure if it was reformulated or not because I haven't tried the newer ones, but there is a 100 ml bottle out available. So if you're into that sort of thing, you can check that out. So Xerjoff 40 knots coming in at number 9, another really nice, unique marine scent, and it's one that I'm really glad I've been able to pick up in my collection. It's a really, really good, unique scent, something I reach for when I want something different. Number 8, we have Lemon Meringue Pie. Chanel Allure Homme Edition Blanche. So yes, this one is often compared to a lemon meringue pie. Do I get that comparison? No. But everyone else seems to say it, so I'm going to say it in this video. Does it kind of have that same type of smell? Yeah, it kind of can, I guess, remind you of a lemon pie, but I don't really think that it smells like that. If you spray this on, people aren't going to think that you spilled pie on yourself, right? It's not that similar. This is a nice, light, gourmand citrus take on Chanel Allure Homme Sport Eau Extreme. If you like that one, then you're definitely going to like this one. Like I said, just takes the lemon note, amps that up, and gives it just kind of like a gourmand type of smell. Is this my favorite one out of all of the Chanel Allure Homme flankers? No, it's not. But I do really enjoy this one a lot for summertime, and I am glad that I picked up this bottle just because it is something a little bit different. This is another one where not really that many people are going to be smelling like this scent just because this is more of a collector's scent. This is more of a fragrance enthusiast scent. There's a few reasons why that is, one of which being this is a Chanel fragrance and the average person isn't going to be dropping that kind of money on a cologne. The second reason is even if they are going to be buying a Chanel, it's probably not going to be this one, right? They're probably going to be going for Bleu de Chanel or, you know, just the original Chanel Allure Homme Sport or something along those lines, right? They're probably not going to be reaching for Edition Blanche. So this one is a little bit more unique. It's got something a little bit different about it, and that's again another reason why I really appreciate the scent. Number 7, we have a new fragrance not only into my collection but also just a new fragrance that was recently released. This one is Davidoff Run Wild. So I just recently did a review on this one, so if you want to hear more information about this one, you can check out that review. Just to give you a quick little rundown of what this smells like, this is basically a combination between Azzaro Wanted and Invictus. So you're probably thinking, wow, that's pretty boring. And yeah, you would be right. This one is a pretty boring scent, being that it does smell like two very popular and generic fragrances. but yet I still really enjoy this one, and I actually find myself enjoying it more than Zara Wanted and even more than Invictus. And I'm not really sure why. Maybe it's because it kind of takes that lemon freshness from Zara Wanted and that like bubblegummy type of smell from Invictus and mixes them together. That could be a lot of the reason why I like it. Being that it is generic, you know, it is still one that's easy to wear. It's one that my girlfriend likes. And honestly, it's one of those fragrances that you really can't go wrong with. I found myself wearing it quite a bit here recently just as a good dumb reach fragrance. And being that this is a relatively affordable one, like you can get from my website, chaosfragrances.com, for around the $40 range, I believe we have it for, you know, it's really easy to spray on heavily. And this is one that I do spray on pretty heavily. I go with quite a few sprays. For example, this. Don't know how many sprays that was. Do I actually go with that many? No, I don't. But just to kind of give you an example, I do spray this one on heavy just because the projection on this one sucks, right? This really doesn't project that much at all. Don't actually spray that much of this fragrance because I can actually start to taste it. But just to kind of give you an idea that I do spray this one on relatively heavily because the projection on this one, really it doesn't project at all. So coming in at number 7, Davidoff Run Wild. Man, I regret doing that. I'm gonna have to freaking wash this off in a minute. Number 6, we have Light Blue Sun by Dolce & Gabbana. So yet another new release. I do believe this one came out this year, if not late last year, somewhere around those times. But it was a newer fragrance here, and it is one that I've really been enjoying a lot as well. The main reason being because it has really good performance. I get moderate performance from a lot of the light blue flankers, the original light blue intense and light blue swimming in Lapiri. I get pretty good performance from those. Out of all of those, light blue intense performs the best, not by much. But this one performs better than all of them. And, you know, that's really a plus when it comes to a summer fragrance, especially these light blue type of scents, which don't have awful performance, but they don't really have the greatest performance either. So being that this one outperforms all of those other ones and maintains that original light blue DNA is really making it kind of my favorite among all of those different flankers. And it's one that I find myself picking up, but I don't really have any idea of what I want to wear. So coming in at number 6, Light Blue Sun. Number 5, we have Guerlain L'Homme Ideal Cologne. So this is another recent pickup, and this is one that I really have found myself liking more and more each time I wear it. This one's been getting talked about for a few years now, I believe, and I've always kind of put it off just because I wasn't really expecting it to be that great. And in fact, when I first got this fragrance and smelled it, I didn't think it was that great. I was not impressed by the scent. I was pretty let down, actually, just because it does get a lot of hype here, especially recently. A lot of people have been talking about it, and you know, I was intrigued, so I did end up picking it up. And like I said, when I first tried it, I was not very impressed. But as time went on, I started to wear it more. I actually really started to like it to the point now where this one is really working its way pretty high up in my summer fragrances that I've been wearing pretty often. This one has a nice upscale vibe to it with that nice lemon and almond combination. It smells really, really nice, especially in the summer heat. Again, this one is in at number 5, Ideal Cologne by Guerlain. Coming in at number 4, we have Bulgari Aquamarine. So obviously, as you guys know, if you're a fan of the channel, I'm a huge fan of Aqua Atlantique. In fact, that is my favorite out of all the Aqua flankers. However, I picked that one up last summer, so it was not included in this list. However, this one, I picked this one up this summer, and to be honest with you, this is another one that's grown on me quite a bit. At first, you know, I wasn't necessarily let down, but I wasn't overly impressed with it. You know, I did think it smelled really nice. But now I'm to the point where I'm really starting to enjoy this one a lot. It's a nice, unique, aquatic fragrance, and this is one of those true aquatic scents that really does smell like the ocean. So because of that, this is going to be one where some people are going to like it, some people are probably going to hate it. Number 3, we have Mercedes-Benz Cologne. This one is very, very similar to Dior Homme Cologne, one of my favorite summer fragrances of all time. What I love so much about this one is the fact that it does get very close to Dior Homme Cologne, but at about half the price or even more than half the price. This one really does a great job of capturing what Dior Homme Cologne essentially does. The quality is fantastic. It's blended really well. Performance is a little bit better than Dior Homme Cologne, which is a plus. And of course, like I already mentioned, the price, way cheaper than Dior Homme Cologne, and that's just a big plus. So if you're out there looking for a Dior Homme Cologne fragrance without actually buying Dior Homme Cologne, you don't want to spend the money, this one is the one you have to check out, Mercedes-Benz Cologne. Number 2, we have Hugo Boss Reversed. So I really don't have to talk too much about Hugo Boss Reversed here, guys. This one has instantly climbed to being one of my favorite summer fragrances as well. This is a really nice citrus fragrance, kind of in the same vibe as Elysium. Is it an Elysium cologne? Absolutely not. It doesn't really smell like it, but it does get you in that same genre, that same ballpark, being a nice citrus vetiver based fragrance. One of my absolute favorites, and it's one that in my opinion everyone should try. Whether it be a blind buy or a sample, in my opinion, you just have to get your nose on this somehow, especially for the summertime. Hugo Boss Reversed, really, really great stuff. And finally, coming in at number 1, another new release. This one is Givenchy Gentleman Cologne. So this is another one that I've done a review on. You can check that video out for my full information on it, but just to give you a quick idea, this one is a very nice, somewhat unique citrus fragrance. This one I was actually really impressed with when I first smelled it. When it first came out, I was looking at the notes on Fragrantica, and I knew it was going to be something that I would like, but not something necessarily that I thought I would be overwhelmed with, or something I'd fall in love with. But as soon as I got this one, I knew it was a winner right away, and it's one that I pretty much fell in love with right at first sniff. So guys, that was it. That was my top 10 favorite fragrance pickups so far for this summer. That's a bit of a tongue twister. Let me know down below what your favorite fragrance pickups are for the summer, and that's pretty much going to do it. So if you enjoyed this review, don't forget to leave a like. Also, don't forget to subscribe and turn on post notifications so you don't miss when I post. And I'm going to go wash all this stuff off my skin. I'll see you in the next one. Peace out.